Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamity. I'm doing the Apple book tag. This was created by Josh at Literary Gladiators, and I'm going to put his video in the down bar. You should definitely go check it out. I've been really exploring his tags and seeing what he's been up to, and I really like how he's been creating a lot of original tags, because it's something like I've always wanted to create a tag, but I just don't take the initiative. So the fact that he's taken this much initiative is amazing. And I'm going to get right into the questions. Also, I'm looking down at my phone if you see me looking down. Number 1 is Granny Smith, an overbearingly sweet work or character. And for that, I actually picked Come Find Me, Sage Parker by Eliza Latta. I hope I'm not mispronouncing her last name. I even asked how to say it. But anyway, this book is very sweet, but is very dark at the same time. So I'm going to pick the one character from it called Francine. She is just the definition of sweet, like literally. So yeah, I'm going to pick her for that question. Number 2 is Fuji, a work about a mountain. And I could not think of anything because I don't read a lot of action books. I don't read a lot of adventure books. So it was kind of hard. So I picked Volkswagen Blues by Jack Poulin. And I picked this book because it's a road trip book and I'm sure they saw some mountains. I can't remember. I read this for third year English, so. But I really enjoyed it. See all the tabs. Number 3 is Red Delicious, a book that'd be perfect if it was only judged by its cover. So for this book, this is actually one of my favorite books, but I think I didn't get perfect scores for me. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 or something like that. I didn't get a 5 out of 5 for plot, but it got very close. But I picked it for its cover because I think this cover, it's Funny Girl by Nick Hornby. I think this cover is just beautiful. I absolutely adore this cover. I did hear NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour talk about this and The Social talk about this book, but this cover was the main thing that I was I need to read this. This cover is aesthetically pleasing to me. It's simple, but has color, and the font's really cool. It stands out, and they have the cursive. It's a dream. It is a dream for me. Number 4 is Golden Yellow, a book of yellow on the cover. And for that, I picked The Hating Game by Sally Forn, which I just read a little while back with Steph from the Book Hopper. My review will be coming of this very soon, but this book has yellow on the cover, and I really love the touch of yellow all around. And it's just one of those books that has a pop of yellow that does it very well. Number 5, a Mackintosh, a writer that has influenced or would influence your writing. So I picked Joel Dicker, who wrote The Truth About the Harry Kubert Affair. He's wrote a few other books, but they have not been translated to English. They're still in French, so that's another motivation for me to get on my French studying. But this book is just a masterpiece. It won so many awards in France mostly. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you love a thriller book and you love dark, creepy books, but that aren't too scary, I cannot say enough. You guys need to read this. If it kept me up to 2 a.m., very little keeps me up to 2 a.m. Nothing. Not even talking to anybody, not watching anything. If this kept me up and I knew I had to get up the next morning early, it's a great book. I just love it so much. I need to reread it. It was my favorite book of 2016. It even beat up the Sarah Shepard book released that year. So if you want another validation, it's just the writing is so beautiful. It captures you and you can't let it go. It's one of those writings that just writers that truly immerses you, and I want more of his books translated into English so I can read them because I just love this book so much. 6, Honeycrisp, a book you've read that is in great demand. And I picked Without Merit by Colleen Hoover because it's a Colleen Hoover book. It is in great demand. A lot of people are scared to read this book because they've heard it's quite different. I actually have a review on this, and it wasn't my favorite Colleen Hoover book. Spoiler alert. But it still is in high demand because everybody literally has the same opinion, I feel like. Everybody's I love Colleen Hoover's books. I've heard not the best things about this, but I'm still going to read it. So I picked this book because it is in high demand, so it still applies. 7, Baldwin, a writer you feel needs recognition due to stunted acclaim, whether it was due to something that happened to them or premature death. So I picked Madonna in a Fur Coat by Sabahattin Ali, and he's very famous. He's a Turkish writer. He's very famous. I don't really think he's that famous in North America. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk about him, and I'd say bulk of the booktubers I watch are from America, and I'm from Canada, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this book, and I feel like he doesn't get the recognition he should, because he is such a famous author in a different country, but it kind of sucks that he doesn't have a lot of you know, support over here. But then also this book was translated in English in 2016, so that could be why. But I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It's really a shame because I really enjoyed this book. Like, it is one of the favorite books I've read this year. I have so many tabs. Like, it's just inspired me. I love the characters. It's really good. 8 Empire, and that could be like me being kind of ignorant and like a lot of people like that, but like from what I'm seeing. So I'm talking about my perspective, just FYI. 8 Empire, work about or set in New York. And for this, I picked the Gossip Girl series by Cecilie von Zagassar. I said that really weirdly. Anyway, this book, like, when you think Gossip Girl, it's like New York. Like, that's like one of my first associations with the books and with the show in general. So I picked this series because, you know, just it's the most natural. 9 Gala, a work that fits under many genres. And for this, I picked 24 Hours in the Life of a Woman by Stefan Zweig. I picked this because this one has kind of a mystery element. It kind of has a thriller element. It has a social commentary element. It has a contemporary element. It's just a lot of things encapsulated into one. I don't think I could necessarily, like, sum it up. It could be autobiographical because it seems like something that, like, certain parts of it, because it does talk about hands a lot, and it's very interesting. I can't wait to read more of this author's work. So far, this is the only one I've read, but I hope to read more very soon. Number 10, Ambrosia, a long work that was easy to follow. And for this, I picked Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I'm just holding up the 5th book right now because it's the one I have down currently because I'm going to be starting this soon. But Outlander, like, it was a giant book, but it was easy to follow. Now, I feel like the second one was a little bit harder for me to follow, but the third one and fourth one, like, from there on out, were not really hard to follow, and they are such big books. Like, I think it's just because it's not like a fantasy book where you have to learn this whole new world. Like, the world is like ours, but it goes back into history. So it's very familiar to, like, people if they have studied history or they kind of have a, you know, because certain, like, for example, gender roles, they kind of, like, are similar throughout most places in most times of history. Not all, but most, like, you have, like, the standard roles. So, like, that kind of thing, jumping into that, whereas if you're in a fantasy world, it could be whatever. So, like, it was pretty easy to follow along, I think, because of that aspect, because it was a world familiar to us. Like, I haven't been to Scotland, I haven't been anywhere. But, you know, like, I know of Scotland. It's not like George R.R. Martin book where it's like, wherever they live, who knows where that is. I don't read those books, so, or watch the show. Very controversial. But yeah, picked Outlander. Number 11 is Jazz, a work written in or after 2010 that demonstrates freshness and originality. And I picked The Guineveres by Sarah Dommett. And this book, I feel like I haven't read a book anything like this. This book is pretty much about 4 girls who live in a convent, and one day these soldiers come in and they kind of claim them as their boys, and they each have, like, their boyfriend, and, like, it kind of changes the course of their lives, and what kind of happens to them. And it was very interesting and dark and creepy, and, like, people say it's like a revelation the way Jeffrey Eugenides's The Virgin Suicides was a revelation. So I feel like this one's really unique. Like, it's like, because people are saying it's a revelation, like, it's something to cherish, it's unique. Like, that is one of the words associated with this book, and I feel like it is very unique. I've never read or heard of anything like this. I guess The Virgin Suicides would be maybe one of those associations, but even then, I hear that's very different from this, so, you know. Number 12, Mutsu, a big book that you indulged, and I picked Warligan by Winston Graham. This is the 4th book in the Poldark series. Me and Carrie buddy read this one in the summer, and we're going to be buddy reading the 5th one in February, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm really enjoying this series, and this was like a big one that I really indulged. I was kind of scared because I didn't really like the 3rd book in the series, and I was scared moving forward, but this book reaffirmed my love for the series. And yes, that is all. Oh no, one last question. So, oh no, 2 last questions. 13, what is your favorite apple? My favorite apple is Golden Delicious. We get it every fall. I believe it's Golden Delicious. I like Golden Delicious anyway. I'm not really picky. Like, honestly, I'm one of those people that, like, if I have an apple in the fridge, like, no matter what kind it is, like, I'm going to enjoy it. But I say Golden Delicious because those ones are yummy. Yeah, because I'm always getting it mistaken because we do go to an apple farm and they have lots of different apple types, and I'm pretty sure it's Golden Delicious because that's the one my mom bakes with. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't eat apple pie, so, like, I don't really pay attention too much to that, but I eat apples. 14, Apple Tree, who do you tag? So, it's been really hard for me to tag people because I don't know who's making videos, who hasn't done this tag, anything at all. But now, Steph from the Book Hoppers come back and she's making videos again, which is very exciting. And I'm going to tag her. I'm going to link her channel in the down bar. Go check it out. I'm really excited that she's making videos again, so I'm going to tag her. And I'm going to tag anybody else who wants to do this video, of course. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.